Esther 3:2. Thus all the king's servants who were at the king's gate bowed down and did obedience to Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai would not bow or do obedience. Regardless of what this world tells us to do, we're to follow God's direction. We're not to bow to anybody, but in the name of the Lord. Okay. Daniel 5:5-7. Daniel 5:5-7. Okay, let's see. Suddenly a man's fingers appeared opposite the lampstand and wrote on the plaster wall in the king's palace. Watching the hand as it wrote, the king turned pale. You gotta understand, this is an unusual thing to happen. Have a hand writing on a wall, something that is never written down to actually happen again. This the message would have been something you would have wanted to find out because this is so distinct, so different. It brought a fear upon you because something was trying to communicate to you higher than you, is the way this king saw it. The fact is, we as Christians, as believers, know that it was the Lord speaking and giving a message. The king would have just saw some higher power, some spirit giving it because he didn't have faith. But it brought fear upon him. Those that hear a message, receive a message from the Lord, who don't have him, should receive the message in fear. So terrified was he that his knees knocked and his legs gave way. So he falls over. He can't stand up. He's unable to stand due to this fear. He shouted, calling the enchanters, the Chaldean diviners. One translation says the wise men. Whoever reads this writing and tells me the meaning, he said he to the wise men of Babylon, will be clothed in purple, wear a gold chain around his neck, and be made third highest ruler in my kingdom. So he was going to give them power. He was going to make them authority. He was going to bring them to the third highest ranking in his kingdom. This kind of shows there's a mystery historically, but history is starting to show that he was ranked second, and he was in rule as second. So he wasn't going to give his position away. He couldn't give somebody higher than his, so what he had left was to give him third rank. They were going to be royalty. They were going to have to answer to him and the one he was in charge of, who was his dad, who was eating grass and living out in the field kind of thing. But the fact is, he rewards them with earthly treasures. He's looking to earthly wisdom. And fortunately for him, Daniel was put into this wise men by his dad. So, he's able to answer it. Fact is, oftentimes this world will look to this world for answers because that's all they know. And it's when they look for them answers that God wants us to give them the truth and reveal to them his word. And we don't do that to gain earthly treasures. We gain that to gain heavenly, to gain them in heaven, if we could.